Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing this evening? This is Sgt Sias, your host for tonight. Oh, I hope everybody is doing great. It's kind of fresh here in Temple, Texas right now. I'm just making a quick video just to talk to y'all real quick about some things, But what soldiers go through when they go through basic training, and then they go to the units. When they go to basic training, is basically molding them to become the soldiers that they want them to become. In which, some people go there bent out of shape, and they shape them up. They put them on diets so they can meet their requirement of being able to advance, and they work them out so they'll be able to pass a PT test. When you're stuck in basic training, to me it was a blast. Like when you meet people from all around the United States and from other states that are out of the United States. It's kind of like making a soup, because everybody's got their own beliefs, and everybody is about their, how should I say, their ethnic, if I'm saying it correctly. They're about their race, Most of the people, that's what they're about. They only know what they learned, where they come from, whether it be from the Bronx, from Chicago, from Florida, from Texas, from Puerto Rico, from the demonic Republican. They only know what they were taught in the streets, right? Which everybody's got something going on in their lives, and it's like a big shock when you're amongst so many different nationalities, because everybody wants to be bad. Everybody wants to stand out more than the rest, saying that they're greater than you and stuff like that. When I was in basic training, I got in a lot of fights when I was there. Let me make sure my Wi-Fi is connected. I see it connected. I got a lot of fights because I had to. I had no choice. When people want to test out your manhood, or they get in your face to see what you're going to do, well, you got to do what you got to do. You can't let somebody talk smack about you and not do something about it, and which means you have to fight, So I can't count how many fights I got in basic training, but I got a lot of many fights in which I overcame each person that I had to fight. They found out that the person that they were calling Spick and other names that were racist was the one that whooped their butt, Literally, I fought people that were skinheads, KKK, people from the gangs, from the Crips, from the Bloods, or whatever you want to call them, because everybody was representing, whatever they were representing in the streets, I faced all oncomers, and I overcame each person that came up against me. In which, since they couldn't get the best of me, they had to come in numbers, like 2, 3, so I had to fight 3 people. It didn't matter to me, I overcame 3 people. But when you're in a situation like that, you got to do what you got to do to survive. Somebody comes at you in a disrespectful manner, do what you got to do. Whether he swings at you first, block the shot, TKO, TKO him. Or you want to teach them a lesson because they disrespect you so much, choke them the hell out, put them to freaking sleep. Once they're unconscious, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. There was this guy that was supposedly the #1 wrestler from Kentucky. I put him to sleep. He came at me, he wanted to wrestle, so I showed him what I could do, and I put him to sleep. You see, I was already trained. Well, people don't understand. People these guys were younger than me because when I joined, I was like 20. So all these guys were like 18, 17-year-old kids, talking crap, disrespecting. So, I taught them a lesson. How you doing, Sister Gloria Vela? They didn't know what I've been through. They didn't know that of my life. I would never really talk about anything. To me, I was there in basic training to do what I had to do to come out of there so I can be able to advance, go to my regular unit. But, people start coming up against me, so I had to defend myself, which I even got in fights with drill sergeants, where there was one where tried to kick me in the face when we was doing we were training out there doing combat, like doing flips and stuff like that. This drill sergeant came in and tried to kick me in the face. I blocked his kick from the ankle, and I dropped him on the ground, and I got on him. Next thing you know, I got surrounded by a bunch of drill sergeants. It's kind of like when I see people like that, I'm not afraid to fight anybody. I never have been. The thing is, I don't fight for entertainment purposes. To me, if I fight, it's because somebody's coming at me in a negative way, somebody's talking bad about me, or I done had enough of the individual, So that's the way basic training was me, that I had drill sergeants coming after me. When people target you, hey, let's focus on this guy, they come at you in numbers. That's why I got in so many fights in the military, because if whatever happened in basic training followed me to my regular unit, in which drill sergeants know drill sergeants, so they sent me to a company or a platoon that my platoon sergeant was a drill sergeant, and he knew some of those drill sergeants from basic training. So, I was getting forced to fight Badigo fights. At that time I only weighed like 150, 155 pounds. They were making fight literally bare-fisted knuckle fights with people that weighed a lot more than I did. Weighed 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 255, over 300 pounds. Way taller than me. But what they didn't know is that I was highly trained before I even went to basic training. So they didn't know who they were dealing with. They found out the hard way. They would look at me and say, "Oh, this guy's it's not that big of a guy, he's 155 pounds." Like right now, I weigh like 270 muscle, and I still train the same way I used to train before. But I was only 155, taking out people that were like 240, 250, 260, 280, over 300 pounds. When I was fighting the Badingo fights, when I was in a station in Germany. I have a picture that I'm going to place so y'all can see how I looked. And if you look at my face in that picture, you could tell that I already been in all those fights. The difference between those fights and what people fight, paid fights where there's referees and stuff like that, there was no referees in the fights that I got. And there was no time to rest in the fights that I got. I fought 40 people Monday through Friday. It was a fight every day. Every day, Monday through Friday. So I got in 40 fights within a matter of like 2 months. 2 months, I believe. That's what it totals to. Like almost 2 months or month and a half. Like 40 fights that I was forced to fight every day. I think that what they were trying to do is get me tired so somebody couldn't be able to defeat me. But I came to a solution in which each fight that I fought, my game plan was to take him out as fast as I could, in which I did. Within a matter of seconds, they were out. They were taken care of. Not even 10 seconds, 15 seconds. They were taken care of. They were knocked out. And that's how I survived the 40 Badingo fights. I knew pressure points and all kinds of stuff because I trained that way. I know I'm older right now, but the person that would train with me is family, and he got my back, even though he knows that I'm highly trained of what I used to train before I joined the military and what I trained during the military. And I know he's got my back 100% because he's family, But I learned a lot of things. One of the things I know is for people that think they're bullies, that think they're bad, I just let them talk, whatever they want to talk. Let the other people pump them up with hot air. I let them say whatever they want to say. But then when it's time to take care of business, I deflate them, They find out the hard way that they're not as bad as they think they are. I would do that to a lot of people that would come up against me in Germany. And even in Fort Hood, I had soldiers trying to challenge me, when I was in charge of them, trying to tell me that they're going to do whatever they want to do. So, I had to take care of business, let them know that who's the boss. And they will find out, not to be mean or anything, but when you're in a tank and you're the first ones to be called, everybody in your four-man crew has got to be in line. Everybody's got to be in check. Everybody's got to be ready to go at all times. We got to be thinking the same mentality in order to first survive a combat environment. So what I know, what I train is how to overcome situations in a combat environment, which is go through obstacles. If there's obstacle setups, mines, or whatever, we have to fight offensively, defensively, but at the same time, take care of the enemy, which means destroy the enemy, right? If there's an enemy shooting at us, well, we're gonna shoot to kill, shoot to eliminate the target that's shooting at us. That's our job. And we did a lot of that while I was in Operation Desert Storm. Like I said, you get tested in many ways. When I was in Germany, there was civilians that would come at me in a negative way. I didn't really want to do nothing, but sometimes you're left with no choice but to take care of the situation. Especially somebody pulls out a gun at you and they pointed it straight at your head. You got to do what you got to do. So I took care of a lot of Germans that didn't like Americans because I had no choice. When they come at you in a negative way and they hate you, you got to do what you got to do. In which, the only thing I have is memories of the people that I had to teach a lesson, which it was many. One thing is, I never looked for a fight. It's something, the fights always came to me. But I was never looking for a fight or trying to mess with nobody in any kind of way, shape, or form. I'm a Tim Love Foundation. My, how should I say, at that time, it would be my spiritual foundation where I remain at peace with myself. And those that tried to disturb that peace, they came at me in a negative way, that I had no choice to teach a lesson, I would, because I will have no choice. A lot of the people I taught lessons to, I will go up to them afterwards. I will see them at the bowling alley or at the dining facility, and I would tell them, "Hey, I'm sorry what happened. I'd rather have your friend as than an enemy, blah, blah, blah." And that's how it happened. I didn't want people to be afraid of me because of what I was able to do. That's one thing when you want to survive any situation, you train to the highest level possible to overcome a situation, any kind of threat. And that's what I do. That's what I do. I've been doing it for a very long time. For a very long time, and I still train. I know my son. He's some boxing. He wants to do other things. I'm letting him do whatever. I would want to show him what I know, but I want him to do him. I want him to, not unless one day he decides to say, "Hey, Dad, can you show me what you know?" Then I show him. But the things that I know is to overcome any obstacle, no matter what it is or who it is. And you gotta, when you take care of the situation, you just gotta train, be ready for it, and overcome it. There hasn't been any obstacle that I haven't been able to overcome, because I overcome every obstacle, whether it was something or someone coming at me in a threatful manner, I overcame them. Whether it was something spiritual, right? I've overcome the spiritual aspect out of it. I think what it is, it's like when you defeat the enemy in mutual combat, and the enemy is knocked out, passed out. At that point in time, you could really injure the individual that's knocked out. But it's up to what you want to choose. Me, I felt that the lesson was taught to the individual, and I will leave it alone. But because I didn't want to go the other route of taking advantage of somebody that you already taken care of, but you could really hurt the individual to the fullest. I don't want to go that route, because that route is not good. Have I been to that route? The only thing I can say to y'all is not good, because people get seriously injured, very seriously injured. Then you have to live with that for the rest of your life. Just put it this way. I had people coming from, I guess they were from the German undercovers, or working for the military, German military, coming after me. It's kind of like they knew who I was. They knew where I came from. They knew that where I was from, the Rio Grande Valley. They knew a lot of things about me. But it's because I had already taken care of a lot of people that they were sending my way to try to, you could say, take me out. So, in that manner, when I was in Germany, the little bit of time in Germany I was there, man, it was so many obstacles I had to overcome just to get out of there. Whether when I got overseas, I went to Operation to the Storm, had to overcome the enemy there in the form of the Medina Republican Guard, which was Saddam's best military, best army. We annihilated them. We destroyed them. So that's what people don't understand, brothers and sisters. They say that they respect. People say that they respect the military, the people that serve in the military. But when you got people coming at you in a negative way, making fun of you, talking bad about you, playing games with you, that's not really respect, That's like disrespecting. I mean, they really want to find out how bad I am. All they got to do is man up, but it'll be a one-on-one situation. We don't need no, how should I say, no circus around us. That's how I handle business. One-on-one. Nobody around. One-on-one. Open space. Just me and the individual that's got a problem with me. And we settle it, It's always been that way. I remember when I lived in Killeen. How you doing, Brother Jonathan? I was outside. This after the military, My son's playing outside. He's like 4 years old at that time. And this guy pulls up in front of my house and he says, "Hey, is your name so-and-so?" And I say, "Yeah." "Hey, what's up, man? How can I help you?" And he said, "Well, my boss sent me over here to let you know that you got 24 hours to leave Killeen, Texas." "Well, really?" I said, "Who's your boss name?" He said, "I can reveal his name." He said, "But you got 24 hours to leave Killeen, Texas, or else." So, or else what? Or else I got to do what I got to do. And I said, "Hey, migo, I'll be right back." I went, got in the guy's vehicle, and this is what I told the guy. I told him, "What I want you to do is just close your eyes for a little bit, meditate or whatever. I want you to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out a couple of times." And he's like, "What do you want me to do that for?" He said, "Because that's the last breath you're gonna take in this earth." This guy literally came to my house telling me that if I don't leave within 24 hours, that literally he was gonna handle me, that he was gonna do something to me. Jumped in his vehicle. He got scared. He told me to get off. Yeah, that's the thing when people play games. They play games because they think you're about nothing, but then when they see the other side of you, they see the real you, right? They don't want to know you. They freaking get scared. This guy was bigger than me, dude. But whoever's reviewing, this guy was bigger than me. He got scared. Hauled out. He peeled out from in front of my house. He never came back. He was a big guy. He got scared. I'm a big guy too. It's just like I was just ready to handle him. I mean, who in the right mind is going to tell you that they're gonna, if you got 24 hours to leave your home, that they're gonna handle you? Well, let's go handle it. I told him I know a perfect spot though. I told him I know a perfect spot where we can handle business. This guy pussed out and took off like a bat out of hell. Didn't want to do nothing with me. I was in a situation one time where there was this cop. It was this cop. He thought he was above the law, right? I was in my truck with my nephew and my niece, and this guy, he parked right beside my truck, as I was driving to where I lived, and he pulled out right beside me, and he told me, "Guess what I'm pointing at you?" He said, "Guess what I'm pointing at you?" I figured he's a cop, he's got a gun. I said, "All right, well, before you use it," I said, "let me drop off my nephew and my nieces, because you got a problem with me, it has nothing to do with them." So I dropped them off, and they took off, and then he calls me because he had my number, and he said he had my nephew in the car with him. So I seen all these things that he was doing as terroristic threats. So I caught him by the mailbox by himself one day. I said, "Hey, man, can I talk to you over here in the picnic table?" And I took him to the picnic table. He said, "Do you remember that day that you said you were pointing something at me, and you called me that my nephew was inside your truck and all this stuff?" I said, "Yeah." So I wanna show you something. I said, "I want you to show me everything that you know, everything that you know from the military, because he used to be military too. What you know from the police department, and I'm gonna show you what I know." But you see, I had already added the stuff that did, and I was gonna teach him a lesson from hell. This guy decided not that he even apologized and all this, but I was fixing to whoop him, because of what he did. And that's the last time I ever seen this guy. you know. But you run into this kind of bullies all throughout all throughout my life. I run into people like that think that they're better than everybody, that their shit don't stink, you know. In the military, you know, it was about rank, and you run into people like that all the time, where they try to backstab you because they want to get the rank before you do. So, you know, there's people like that. You know, there's people. I didn't care if they had a rank higher than me. If I had the opportunity, you know, because they come and touch me or try to do something physically, you know, I take care of business. But that's the way it was for me in the military. Not just in the military, out here. Spiritual aid came afterwards when he got some illnesses. Spiritual aid, that's when he came in the picture. But Sgt Sias is always here. For those that think Sgt Sias is not here, he's always here. He's always ready to go. But like Sgt Sias, like I say, I'm not here to put up a show for anybody. If somebody really hates me that bad, we do a one-on-one. You know, believe I put it out for a lot of people that were coming up against me, talking smack about me, disrespecting me, to handle business one-on-one. Nobody answered that call. Doesn't matter if it was somebody from Oklahoma, from the swamps, or from wherever. You know, I was ready to handle business, because if I didn't start nothing and people are coming at me in a negative way, well, I'm ready to finish it. I'm always ready to finish it. Trust me. I'm always ready to finish it. And for those people that think that I stand alone, you're wrongly mistaken, because the brotherhood is always on standby. My brother in arms, they all live in these areas. You know, they're always ready for action. When a certain individual was coming at me with fake profiles, my brother in arms wanted to take care of his punk ass. And I told him to leave him alone because it's not worth it. You know, I told him that he's one of those guys that wants to talk shit, but can't back it up. But he wants to play games. You know, just to leave it alone, because it's not worth it. He's not man enough to man up. He's not man enough to man up against me, but he sure as hell is man enough to try to man up against women. Disrespecting women, saying racial remarks about women, talking about watermelon, talking about chicken, and allowing it to happen. That guy right there, you know, he's a pretender. That's what we call a pretender. He's one of those guys that wants to start shit, talk shit, play games, then all of a sudden do a 360, pretend that he hasn't done nothing wrong, but he's the one that initiated a lot of things. And he expects people to be cool with it when he's not even man enough to apologize to anybody. You know? He wants people to be cool. Like he hasn't done nothing wrong. Like he hasn't done nothing wrong to nobody, disrespecting nobody, troll nobody. The only thing I gotta say about that guy is this: all in due time. All in due time. That's all I can say about that individual. All in due time. But a person like that wouldn't last me 10 seconds, man. Person like that, he's not a man at all. He's not a man at all. And I know this is Sgt Sias speaking right now. I know brother Abe The reason I refer to myself Sgt Sias is because I used to be a sergeant in the Army. I'm not talking and that I have a second personality. No, Sgt Sias is always with me, and Sgt Sias says what he wants to say, whether people like it or not. You know, he's straight up, blunt, and he speaks the truth when he says these things. If I would have seen that dude that I'm talking about from Oklahoma talking shit right in front of me to a female, disrespecting her race, talking about a watermelon and chicken, making fun of her, I will knock the hell out of him, knock him the fuck out, just straight up, TKO him, right in front of him, and I'm more sure the teeth will be flying too, for being a racist. And that right there has nothing to do with God. That just has to do with defending the honor of people around you. Well, I served the military. It was about honor. When I was in Germany, we were called Iron Knights. Believe it or not, Sgt Sias is an Iron Knight. When I was in station in Fort Hood, I was a Black Knight. Honor. It's about honor. Get it? Honor. What does honor mean? Honorable is about respect. Respect one another. It's got to be a mutual thing. You look aside from where you come from. You look aside from the complexion of your skin. It's about honor and respect. There's a lot of people that came at me in a negative way, disrespectfully, this past year. Disrespecting me. Disrespecting me of who I am, of where I've been. Like I said before, I'm not buying into the BS of anybody. The only thing is that I gotta say is people done added too much stuff upon me that, you know, Sgt Sias ready to handle business. Brother Abe said numerous times, "Hey, leave him the hell alone." Nobody want to listen. Sgt Sias ready to handle business. He's always a Recon 1 all the time. Sgt Sias doesn't care of your situation. For the person in Oklahoma, he don't care about your situation. You brought that upon yourself. You play games with Brother Abe for a whole year, and you still continued. After Brother Abe tried to extend an olive branch to you, you still continued. You continued last week. The only thing I can say to you is you're going to know sooner or later what a real true veteran is about. I know you're used to hanging around with people that have stolen valor. You know, they say they're in the military, but they're fraudulent. I ain't saying no names, but you played the games. You played the games, and there's always a price to pay when you play those kind of games. The only thing the Brother Abe Sias wanted was an apology. For you to apologize for insulting him. But you didn't, and you haven't. So, that's where I come in. All in due time. You know, sometimes in life, people that are not about respect, people that are about playing games, they have to learn the hard way, you know. They have to learn the hard way. They want to be playing the games behind their computers, behind their fake profiles. But then when it time gets down to the nitty-gritty, of handling business, they will out because they don't want to deal with Sgt Sias. I've been training daily for a very long time. That's what I do. That's what I'm about. I see that you want peace with individuals. Like I said, you sending a lot of olive branch to you. You insulting me, but keep on commenting on my YouTube, and then you come at me with some other fake profiles. You're gonna learn the hard way, buddy. That's all I gotta say about that. Sooner or later, we're gonna cross paths. You're gonna know where I've been, what I'm about. Because I believe that's what you wanted to know. You wanted to get my attention. You got my undivided attention. It's just that you don't want to respond to me as a man. So now you're in the pity party, trying to play like you're a victim of something, that you wasn't part of nothing, you didn't do nothing to anybody, and all this crap. And what you did, you're part of that. You're part of that. Apologize. You're going to apologize one way or the other. I'm going to tell you that right now. One way or the other, you're going to apologize. One way or the other. But that's what, like I said, I've dealt with people like you before in the past. They've apologized. The right way or the hard way, doesn't matter, you know. Apology is an apology. But besides that, for those that think that Brother Sgt Sias is weak, that he ain't about nothing, I'm just here to tell you that you're wrongly mistaken. You're wrongly mistaken. Brother Sgt Sias has a good heart, but Sgt Sias is always here, waiting to handle situations. No, I believe sometimes the things that are around us, they know what's within us. They know where we've been. They know what we've done. And those are the openings that they're waiting for. Brother Sgt Sias tries to control Sgt Sias to the best of his abilities. But sometimes, Sgt Sias comes out. Not that he's got an alter ego or anything like that. It's just, that's what he's about. He's been there. He's done that. Numerous things through Sgt Sias. Private Sias, Specialist, PFC Sias, Specialist Sias. He's been there. He's done a lot of things during combat, after, while in the military. Makes me who I am. They don't call me the ultimate warrior for no reason. My friends that are still, my brotherhood friends, they know what I'm about. They call me the ultimate warrior for a reason. Because of what I'm capable of doing. So I work out, try to get my brother in arms to stay motivated, not to give up in life. But that's how I've always been. Try to keep people motivated, a lot of these people that have come up against me in a negative way, there's some things that are around that they cannot touch me because Brother Sgt Sias maintains the Love Foundation. They see what you do. So they can't touch Brother Sias, Brother Sgt Sias, or Sgt Sias. Who do you think they're going to go after? They're going to go after his enemies. Because that's what they do. Those things, those DDN, what they do, they're like soul collectors. That's what they're here to do on earth is collect souls. So they go after Brother Abe Sias, Sergeant Sias enemies, because he protects us with the Love Foundation through prayer. So all these people that practice witchcraft, necromancy, that think they're psychics, that think that they're mediums, I'm just here to tell you, if anybody's trying to do anything against Brother Abe Sias in that kind of manner, that's a losing situation for you. That's an automatic losing situation with you. For you, you don't know who you're dealing with. This guy is spiritually protected, spiritually anointed. You know who you're dealing with. All the things that we've put out is because it's 100% real, 100% true. There's no need to be lying about that. It's about awakening people to the real unseen war that's happening amongst us. But anyways, thank you, Sister Gloria Vela, if you're still here. Brother Johnson Gonzalez. You know, people just don't know when to stop sometimes, you know. I remember people would come at me in a negative way when I was in the military, and they wouldn't stop. And they will keep on coming. They will keep on coming. After a while, after getting messed with so many times, you get tired of it, you know, and you got to do what you got to do. So bottom line is like this. You know, I'm going to continue to do what I do. Abe Sias, Sgt Sias, Count Sias. The things that I do, I'm going to continue to do. And I'm not going to worry about people that are liars. I'm not going to worry about people that are backstabbers. I'm not going to worry about people that claim to be victims of something in which, when they're in cahoots with other people, I'm not going to worry about those individuals. I'm just going to worry about Brother Abe Sias and Sgt Sias, or whoever wants to be my friend, true friends, whoever is a member here of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I'm here for y'all. Everybody else that has been playing games and continue to play games, you can see your way out with your fake profiles. You know, I don't want to do nothing with y'all. You've had opportunities, whole year opportunity to make things right. You chose not to. I don't do nothing with y'all. The only thing I want is for you to do your own thing and just leave me the hell alone with your fake profiles. That's all I want. I've been wanting that. You know, when you take the time to create a fake profile and come make a comment on my YouTube, or you could come make a comment on my TikTok, and I know it's you because you can't spell right, and the things that you say, I know who it is. You know, it's kind of funny or ridiculous, and you use kind of like the same names, but spelled differently. You know, the only thing I can say about that is the only way you're going to change is digging deep within your soul to change your ways. Because sooner or later, you're going to cross paths with the wrong person, and you're going to be dealt with. You know, that's what normally happens. Last time I told a person this was a guy that was holding a gun like he was going to use it. You know, trying to pull out a gun out of his holster at a party. He was going to pull it out, and he was waving cash. He was waving nothing but hundreds. I went up to him, I cornered him, and I had something in my hands, in both of my hands. And the guy didn't get to pull his gun out of his holster. And I told him, look, man. He's like, where you're from the Pinta? I said, no, I'm not from no Pinta. Which means prison, right? I said, what's up? Make your move. Draw. Go for it. He didn't want to draw for his weapon. And I told the guy, if you don't change your ways, you're going to run into the wrong person, and you're going to get dealt with. Not even 2 weeks from that encounter, this guy went into a place where, guess he was on the wrong path. He went there with a gun in his hand, and when he entered the room, boom, he got killed by other guns that other individuals had, But that's what happens when you think you're above everybody, that you're untouchable. That's what happened to that individual, But sometimes people have to learn the hard way because they don't want to take advice. I've seen it happen numerous times, brothers and sisters, in that nature, where people don't. You can tell a path, the trajectory of a path of somebody, when somebody is fixing to hit rock bottom or something bad is going to happen because of the path that they're on. Or when somebody thinks that they're untouchable, right? That nobody can do nothing to them. Those individuals, they get touched. Next thing you know, they're not here no more. But I've seen it happen so many times, But anyways, this is story time with Sgt Sias. Sgt Sias wanted to talk about other things, but the things that he wants to talk about, I don't think is good for people to hear. The only thing I can say to y'all is this: if you ever see a veteran, this Sgt Sias, if you see a veteran, tell them thank you, because you know what they're going through. It will mean a lot to them. If they're wearing a hat, or tell them thank you, because you know where they've been through. They know that they pledged their life on the line for this country and for the people within the country. Just say thank you. A thank you will be sufficient. But anyways, that's all for right now. This is Sgt Sias signing off. And y'all have a good evening. Peace.